Refrain from opening fire inside the Institute. It could jeopardize our entire mission.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Do you understand?
Instruction of fellow staff. Verify systems offline.
Elder Maxson?
Lancer Captain Kells has informed me that the Institute's on high alert, and you're to blame. Explain yourself, Knight.
The Institute is the enemy. I was simply doing my duty.
Your duty is to follow my orders to the letter, Knight. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood. I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight. Dr. Lee is a valuable asset. If any harm comes to her, I'm holding you personally responsible.
You're not authorized to be here.
I wasn't aware that I needed authorization.
Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but this is still my laboratory. If you plan to stay down here with us, you need to learn how things work.
Is this how you treat everyone? Or are you just putting on the charm for me?
I wasn't aware that I had to answer to you at all. You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
If I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be talking.
That's a fair point. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
You're wasting your time working for the Institute.
Oh, wait a second. You're asking me to rejoin them, aren't you? Why the hell would they want me back?
The Brotherhood is having problems, and we need your help.
I don't see how that's my problem. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
I was just told to get you to come back.
The Brotherhood wants me back, and the best they can do is send a robot that does nothing but follow orders? Sorry, but you're going to have to do a lot better than that.
Elder Maxson?
I received word that Dr. Lee's died by your hands. I demand to know what went wrong.
She was a traitor. She deserved to die.
Dr. Lee may have been misguided, but she was never a traitor. Your instructions were clear. You were to infiltrate the Institute, find Dr. Lee, and convince her to return to the Brotherhood. Instead, you've decided to become her executioner. I'm extremely disappointed in you, Knight.
I stand by my actions, sir.
Do you? Well, if nothing else, you have the courage to stand your ground. That doesn't absolve you from your mistake. But let's just say you've earned back some of my respect. Fortunately, this incident doesn't change our current strategy. We have a contingency plan that's already being put into effect that should ensure completion of our special project. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. And Knight, don't disappoint me again. Dismissed.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
It'll take a miracle to get this pile of junk operational.
You think he looks rough now? You should have seen him when I unsealed the salvage crates filled with his parts. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
That doesn't sound hard to fix.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just run down to the local giant robot store and buy myself some how-to manuals. As much as I hate to admit it, Prime's power systems are out of my league. What we need is a robotics expert, and there's someone in Diamond City that fits the bill. Her name's Professor Scara. Locals say she's a wizard when it comes to fixing robots. Why don't you head over there and see if you can talk her into helping us? Oh, and take this with you. Once she sees one of those cerebro-fusion adapters, I'm pretty sure she'll have a tough time saying no. In the meantime, I'll prep Prime's CPU and we'll see if we can't get the big guy moving.
Sorry to let you down, but I'm afraid I'm not in the mood to teach biology lessons today.
I don't care about that. I'm looking for Professor Scara.
Well, then that makes two of us. Her normal field expeditions never last more than a few days, but it's been over a week now. I'm afraid something terrible has happened to her.
If it hasn't happened yet, it certainly will. Not unless we intervene.
Damn it. I was hoping she'd be here.
Well, maybe you could do us both a favor and go looking for her? The last place Professor Scara said she was going is the General Atomics Galleria. I'll mark it on your mapping device. There. Look, if you find her, could you tell her to come home?
Professor Scara.
Excuse me, but this is a private research site. If you're here to study these robots, I'll have to insist you relocate to somewhere else.
I'm not interested in robots. I came here to find you.
Not the answer I expected, but not altogether unexpected at the same time. Perhaps we should start again. My name's Professor Scara, and in answer to what I expect to be your next question, Professor is my first name, not my title. The whole thing's rather complicated. Perhaps I'll explain it to you sometime.
Hey, it worked out. Maybe I should change my name to Wizard and see what happens.
So, now that I've formally introduced myself, perhaps you'd care to tell me why you're here.
Pack your things. You're working for the Brotherhood of Steel now.
Am I? I don't seem to recall agreeing to anything of the sort. While I'm flattered that the Brotherhood of Steel would find me useful, I can't help but be wary of your methods and motivations. Perhaps if you were more specific, we could come to some kind of a mutual understanding.
It's classified, but I can tell you it involves Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime? Why does that sound so familiar? Ah, I remember now. I believe it's some kind of an enormous robot. Well, I'm not sure what types of people you normally deal with, but I certainly won't walk blindly into a situation without all of the details.
If we wait too long, Liberty Prime will never walk again.
It would be a shame if such a technological marvel went to waste. All right, you've got a deal. I'll wrap up my collecting trip and meet you at your headquarters. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a few loose ends to tie up before I leave.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Professor?
You call this a good start? This poor thing's memory core was completely corrupted. Haven't you people ever heard of inertial dampeners? Titanium shock casing? It won't be easy, but I should be able to make a few modifications and get his basic functions online. If you can keep your inept scribes from slowing me down.
Charming, isn't she?
Maybe I should teach her some manners.
That's not necessary. She isn't gonna be much good to us if she's lying in a hospital bed. Besides, Scara's worth all the aggravation. I've never seen someone so proficient with Prime's power systems. She's already saved us weeks, maybe months of work. In fact, we're ready for you to start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Huh, makes sense. You'll need powerful electromagnets to get his arms and legs moving.
That's exactly right. Well, well, you're full of surprises, aren't you? What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.